Hello, wherever you are around the world, and a huge welcome to today's Security Middle East sessions, brought to you by Security Middle East magazine. Now, before I hand you over to Karel from Spica, who is going to talk to you about the future of access control within the cloud, just a reminder that if you are watching live, there is a live Q&A at the end of this session. You can use the live Q&A tab or the live chat facility at the top or bottom of your screens, depending on the device you are using. Now, without wasting any more of your time, I'd like to hand you over to Karel. Karel, if you'd like to come on at this stage and share your screen, Karel is going to be presenting to you for the next 30 to 40 minutes, and then I will be back for the Q&A at the end. Over to you, Karel.
I would like to start with saying hello. Your host for today will be me. I'm Karel Stanovnik, International Business Developer at Spica. My job occupation is daily support of our partners and customers. Sometimes product out of the box is a solution, but many times you need to find the right information and puzzle them together to find a suitable and also cost-efficient one. Overall, Spica helps partners stay competitive on the market as they proudly represent us and believe in our strategy and products. I love game of football and with the same enthusiasm, enjoy windsurfing each summer. So today I will speak most of the time, but as this is not my preferred way, I would already like to encourage you to be curious throughout my presentation and ask anything in the chat, as Garrett already mentioned. Or of course, if you want to open them at the end section, that is cool with me as well. Let's see today's agenda. As I mentioned, I would really like to start with why, to address from high-level perspective and maybe in a little more marketing terms, what is the story around cloud-based access control and benefits, value that cloud provides. Then we'll say a few words about cloud versus on-premise, on security posture, and OpEx versus CapEx costs. Next on the agenda will be major priorities that are already around us. Could be circling around, emails, written down the strategic documents, or you could already practicing it already every day. All three topics can be very interesting to talk all day, but I will only touch them slightly, and hopefully that will be enough to ignite your curiosity and interest to know more. In the second half, or even last third, I will introduce you Door Cloud product, benefits and its value for both customers and partners. Two very important points of views will be introduced as well. One from customer perspective, and the other how product looks like and behaves in practice. Of course, at the end, we'll have time for your questions and hopefully something additional can be explained. So let's start. As I mentioned, why cloud-based access control? Since the beginning of COVID pandemic, we have really seen an acceleration in adoption of cloud-based access control solutions. When lockdowns began and remote work became the norm, many businesses were challenged with their on-site server solutions. On-prem system did not allow them to manage their properties remotely. They could not integrate access control with the other critical business systems, for example, to ensure cyber and physical security of this organization. This left security professionals with only one option: to go on site, to reset servers on checks on their systems. So customers somehow need this. Businesses that already modernized their access control from on-premise to cloud immediately saw the benefits of remote access management. Security managers were able to manage buildings, monitor employees' activity, grant access to employees without being on site. Maintenance responsibilities that traditionally fell on the IT department are offloaded to the software vendor. Continuous upgrades eliminate the need of extra work and downtime that are necessary with conventional software. Cloud-based software allows you to integrate once and deploy everywhere. That way, you ensure consistency across the enterprise while accelerating your ability to scale and grow. Cloud can save money, time, and human resources across all business disciplines. We want to even better service our customers. One of the most overlooked and important benefits of cloud-based software is that you are always on the latest version of the software. There are behind-the-scenes upgrades that customers never have to worry about. Software vendor will activate updates on a regular basis, just like your smartphone does. Second, feature enhancement and improvements come with a cloud-based platform and something legacy on-premise solutions can do. They continue to age in place and get further from the latest improvements. Ongoing updates on cloud ensure customers are always have the most updated version of their access control. And then the third, adapting to changing priorities. Some regions continue to be affected by the pandemic, while others have returned to their routine operations. Physical security departments have adapted and become flexible to changing priorities. For example, the increased ability for remote configuration, health monitoring, even remote installs and integrations can mean less time on site and cost savings for both end user and integrator. Then let's repeat key advantages on this slide that support why cloud-based access control. So, simplify remote work and access control, change of software maintenance ownership, cost-efficient integrations, and behind-the-scene upgrades. Probably this is not all, but just to put some of the most obvious one. So next, we have two misconceptions about cloud-based solutions that I would like to address in the following 5 minutes. So the first misconception, on-premise systems are more secure than cloud solutions. Most physical security deployments still remain on-premise, while cybersecurity concerns are one of the top concerns IT department and cybersecurity teams have. I think it's natural to trust your IT staff more than the cloud service provider specialists. After all, you know them, worked with them, witnessed their ability and professionalism. But many other priorities compete for their time and attention. And the cybersecurity of an access control system can tumble to the bottom of that list. By contrast, cloud service providers assign dedicated specialists to data security and privacy issues. It's their top priority, and they have the experience to excel. Moreover, your IT staff might miss or delay implementing critical updates and patches, creating periods of network exposure. So, with new technologies, cloud adoption actually improves the security posture of a system. From a cybersecurity perspective, cloud providers are good at managing their part of responsibility and helping their customers to manage theirs. They will provide a secure infrastructure, keep it patched, actively monitor and prevent attacks, implement various security best practices, comply with cybersecurity standards, as well as invest in new technology to better protect their users. So in today's businesses, just about every piece of technology, including physical security system, is connected to the internet. That means that traditionally siloed security structures can leave organizations vulnerable. And let's jump to another misconception that I want to expose. So cloud subscription costs are higher than on-premise. Moving from on-premise system to the cloud can actually be very cost-effective. With cloud services, companies pay monthly or yearly license fee, and while seemingly costly, The aggregate fees are often less expensive over time than costs hidden in on-premise systems. Too many people want to compare cloud versus on-premise costs in a purely single dimension. For on-premise, they mistakenly think that costs stop and start with how much hardware capabilities and software is needed to put a solution in work. And for cloud, they only see recurring monthly cost. It's not easy to compare these two directly, but the most important is to find total cost of ownership over, let's say, 5 years for both options, especially at on-premise, as there is more hidden costs and potential threats than cloud-based software option. They say total cost of ownership is the most accurate, objective way to place on-premise and cloud solutions on an apples-to-apples comparison table. Let's move forward. So the major priorities that I promised at the start, we'll try to, explain them a little bit more. Let's see them one by one, how these hot priorities, cybersecurity, sustainability, and mobility are addressed in cloud-based environment. Let's start with cybersecurity. Cloud-based software solutions are often more powerful, convenient, and affordable than locally hosted alternatives. But many people wonder, how secure are they really? As decision makers, industry experts, and consultants demand highly secure features. Answer: the biggest strength defending and responding to rapid evolving cyber attacks comes with building a solution on top of renowned industry leaders such as Microsoft or AWS. As Spica cloud solutions are based on Microsoft's cloud technology, I will share with you some facts and answers to ongoing cyber threats through Microsoft point of view. Microsoft Azure owns security centers which have built-in tools that can help prevent, detect, and respond to threats quickly as soon as they arise. Microsoft Azure boasts more security endorsements than any other cloud provider, gaining the trust of multiple security organizations and allowing you to place your trust in them. Ms. Julia White, Microsoft Corporate Vice President for Azure and Security, said in one of her latest interviews, "It was only a few years ago when most of my customers' conversation started with, 'I can't go to the cloud because of the security. It's not possible.' And now I have people more often than not saying, 'I need to go to the cloud because of security.'" Senior cybersecurity analyst at consulting firm Enterprise Strategy Group, Doc Cahill, said, "One of the fundamental things people should realize about cloud service providers is that security and compliance isn't an option for their business. It is their business." With Microsoft intelligent tools, the cloud benefits from a sort of group immunity. And anytime Microsoft detects a security threat to Azure, Office 365, or another service running on that cloud platform, every other service on that platform gets the benefit of that knowledge. Before cloud computing, everyone had their own little island of information about attempted attacks on their individual companies. Now, cloud service providers have the benefit of being able to gather and analyze billions of pieces of information a day to look for attempted attacks and apply that information for the benefit of all its customers. You need to understand that also, for example, Microsoft invests around $1 billion only in cloud security each year. In addition to addressing and responding to customers' current threats, Microsoft has research labs throughout the world that are working on a number of new breakthrough technologies to improve cybersecurity and address threats that could arise in years to come. Just a sip of water. Let's go further. One slide too much. Okay, here we are. So, sustainability. another major priority for the whole world. If your organization is working towards net zero, eliminating the emissions from your own IT operation is a significant part of that. And yes, for many, cloud computing is already a cleaner and welcome improvement on the original. Less hardware, running fewer workloads means less electricity consumed. The only thing is those cloud data centers still need electricity to power them. That's where greener, sustainable cloud computing comes in, replacing all that fossil fuel-based grid energy with renewable resources. Cloud providers are helping companies achieve their sustainability goals. The hyperscale cloud providers, so those Microsoft, Amazon, Google, have all pledged to decarbonize their data centers. These companies are eager to promote the news that their data centers are driven by sustainable energy. So, things you need to know about green and sustainable cloud computing. Smarter use of energy. As part of the shift away from buying and operating IT equipment and instead consuming it as a service, you only use and pay for what you need. No need to over-provision just in case. The cloud can expand depending on your usage, meaning no computers sitting around idly. Major tech players have ambitious plans. Many of big names are already ahead of other industries when it comes to reaching new zero targets, and they are going further. Big cloud providers can be your best net zero friend, thanks to their scale and resources. And you too can make your cloud transformation a sustainable one. For IT leaders working for companies with a goal of improving sustainability, migrating on-prem operations to the cloud is a strong step in supporting this directive. Corporate sustainability is not just good for the environment, but it's good for business too. Next is mobility. We have seen significant growth in change within the global market for mobile access control in the last 24 months. Without a doubt, this has been driven by a variety of factors, including COVID pandemic, the desire for contactless and remote issuing of credentials. Enterprises are making a marked migration to mobile access as a more secure, safe, and convenient form of access control credential. The pandemic has only hastened the adoption of contactless solutions to address new market demands. As we recover from the pandemic, users are choosing to adopt technology that would not only adhere to healthcare guidelines, but also provide long-term benefits to security and business efficiency. Add to that also global shortage of components, which has been particularly challenging for the supply of traditional cards and readers. Interestingly, this shortage has been a catalyst for pushing sites to expedite their move to mobile, wherever it's practical and reasonable. The reality is that no matter what the vertical, there are different segments of customers who recognize additional value delivered by using mobile devices for access control. These organizations are identifying that most of their staff have a suitable mobile phone, whether personal or company issued. There is no doubt that benefits experienced with mobile credential extend well beyond the pandemic. In the most functional sense, customers can expect to enjoy significant savings in administration time, money, with no physical cards to procure, encode, or print. There are also none of the operational overhead and hassle associated with helping users forgotten their access card. Unsurprisingly, people seem to be much more careful about remembering their phones. Organizations can benefit as well from leveraging multi-factor authentication, like biometric verification built into smartphones, including standard fingerprint scanning and facial recognition. Not only are these solutions easy to use and convenient, but these embedded technologies provide an additional layer of authentication that perfectly partners with cloud-based solutions. So for the end of the mobility, I would like to, summarize the mobile access control, what improves plus operational efficiency, physical security, and that's are the most critical points. So manage facilities at any time from anywhere, remotely assign and revoke credentials to smartphones, reduce the hassle of rekeying with lost and stolen cards, encrypt access credentials so that they can be cloned and reducing security breaches. And the last, convenience and a truly mobile-first experience for workspace tenants in co-working, let's say, experience facilities and residential users. So let's now move to a second part of the webinar, where I focus on Spica product DoorCloud as a real cloud-based access control solution. So Spica is an innovative technology company with a broad experience in workforce management solutions focused on the needs of the modern workplace. In the past 30 years, we have helped more than 3,000 companies around the world to create a better working environment for their employees. Spica serves its global and local customers through an extensive network of resellers and integrators around the world. And let's move to DoorCloud. As part of the product portfolio, we develop and offer cloud-based access control solution named DoorCloud. It is a secure, scalable, and flexible solution in the Microsoft Azure based on Spica Zone Access controllers, designed specifically for cloud communication to ensure safe and secure management over the internet. It's a solution for the needs of both small and medium-sized companies to the complex organizations and enterprises on the around the globe locations. DoorCloud comes with an outstanding user experience and works exclusively with secure protocols and devices, ensuring best practices and high standards. Let's see what the power of access control in our product is. DoorCloud mobile app turns any smartphone into access control tool. It eliminates the need for ID cards, fobs, and also card readers. As we have mentioned at the mobility topic, mobile solutions offer a secure and convenient way to unlock and manage doors, alarms, incidents, visitors, etc. DoorCloud enables administrators to implement the desired security standards by setting access rules for individual points, configuring alarms, determining various levels of access permissions for groups or individuals. Access can be granted or revoked from any location. Alarms can be managed and lockdowns can be initiated in case something out of ordinary happens. Easily monitor real-time events in your facility to ensure the highest security standards for your business. As I mentioned many times, it's scalability is also very important. And with the DoorCloud, you can overcome geographical and physical limitations. In large distributed corporations, access control rules and exceptions can become very complex to manage. With functions like group access points, you can simplify and fine-tune access rights. Users can grant access to a visitor simply by sending a key link. It requires no app and can be used by anyone with internet connection. That makes it extremely useful in situations involving visitors, parcel deliveries, or servicemen arriving at your facility. With DoorCloud, you can easily define alarm reaction times, timeouts, prioritization, case delegation, and escalation of alarm events to enable a fast response in any emergency situation. Let's check on what hardware DoorCloud works. So, Spica Zone Access controllers. Zone Access family of controllers have been designed as building blocks for highly scalable and flexible access control architecture. With just 3 devices to choose from, Zone Access range provides the optimal solution to the widest range of customer requirements. Zone Wing is a main intelligent IP controller capable of driving up to 32 zone door controllers. Zone Door is input-output door controller for managing door hardware and peripherals. And the third one, Zone Spot, is all-in-one PoE access controller for comfortably covering any access point. For a detailed introduction of Spica Zone controllers, we will need a separate webinar, but you can anytime download datasheet from our website or ask us later about details. I would love to answer them. Let me show you two pictures. I will just pause a little bit so you can see how it looks zone doors, zone wings in real life, and with, the person installing them on the DIN rail in the electrical box. Okay, let's jump to another slide. The last but not the least, this is before we jump to the customer cases, a little bit of door cloud security posture. ISO 27001 is the international standard that helps businesses manage their information security in line with industry best practices. It offers a set of rules for businesses to adhere in order to ensure strong information security management. Spica chose Microsoft to host the Door Cloud application due to their commitment to security and compliance offerings. Whole Spica development uses an agile development methodology with involving regular backlog refinement meetings, sprint planning meetings, reviews, and retrospective at the end. Application security is crucial to keep customers' data secure. That's why Spica conducts annual third-party penetration testing and monthly vulnerability scans to make sure Door Cloud code is safe against the latest threats. Spica utilizes a range of cryptographic controls as well to keep your data safe. Encryption is used throughout Door Cloud solution. I will introduce just shortly with one sentence in transit, at rest, and database encryption. So in transit, Door Cloud forces the use of HTTPS when accessing the application. TLS 1.2, the latest, is used for all encryption in transit. Also, customers upload data to Door Cloud using SFTP to keep them secure. At rest, Microsoft Azure encrypts data by default using AIS 2.6 with encryption keys stored and managed by Microsoft. For the database, all production databases are hosted in Azure SQL, running on the Azure platform. The transparent data encryption setting is enabled for all production databases. Now, we, of course, need to jump also to the customer cases, as I promised. Let's see three of them. Co-work on the right side of the slide, you see co-working spaces facility in Zagreb that has around 35 offices covered with Door Cloud. Then on the left side, you see University of Split, where the whole building is covered by Door Cloud and also integrated with Advances platform. And at the bottom, in the middle, you see Group Renault-Nissan customer. And in this customer case, I would like to tell you more about. I will start and also continue with the quotes from the Andrei Goren's IT manager at Renault-Nissan. So he said, "We wanted a solution that would work seamlessly in all branches of the Adriatic region and eliminate the current arrangement, which has led to a large number of employee cards. The most extreme case was the employee who, due to the nature of his work, needed as many as 9 cards to work at different locations and countries. Renault-Nissan was able to maintain its existing access control system on doors, Some older versions were simply upgraded with new access controllers that allow customers to easily enter new access points. Different access readers were selected for different use cases. In some, users need to open doors from a distance of about 2 meters and a parking barrier from a distance of 5 meters. Admins define access rights specifically for individuals and groups, and daily security personnel grant temporary access to guests and customers. Andrei Goren's also adding, Spica solution has convinced us with its breadth. It is compatible with a large set of locks, and it also supports all our mobile device vendors. Because DoorCloud is cloud-based, there is no need to install software at our locations, and we have simply integrated existing software solutions via APIs into the Microsoft Azure platform. And for the end, he said, the advantages of new system are also apparent in emergencies. We all know emergency drills like when earthquake or flood happens. In such cases, connection to the internet or local systems is lost. In the past, such incidents made it impossible to know who is in the facility because there was no access to the data server. With DoorCloud, we immediately know the situation before the worst happens. So rescue teams can know exactly whom to look for and where. For the last part, I want to share with you our 5 minutes, or let's say, 5 minutes video with walkthrough to the DoorCloud application. Let's see. I will set it up. Hopefully, I hope you will all listen. Hear it very, very good. And let's start. Hi, it's Karel here. I will introduce you our cloud-based access control solution, DoorCloud. We are starting from sign-in page of DoorCloud app, where you use your email and password, optionally with two-factor authentication to log in. Let's start DoorCloud introduction with dashboard, where you see overview of the system with all important data and insights available, from prioritized incidents, controller status, presence view, latest alarms, incidents, and other stuff. If you have a partner role within the DoorCloud, you can manage all your client system with a quick selection. On the left-hand side, you can see the main menu where you navigate between different views and workflows. Today, we are going to check only a few of them and let others for private sessions. You can also experience full DoorCloud capabilities with a free account on demand. Let's start with how we manage doors when the system is up and running. Here you can see the list of all doors that are connected to the DoorCloud, and you can filter them by area, controller status, and door mode. There's an easy way of opening the door when somebody calls in and needs access to premises. You can also monitor the status of doors and change it. You have three options. Normal status is how door behaves normally, and there is a possibility to fully lock or unlock them with a click of a button. The next functionality that I'm going to show you is key links. Responsible person usually creates key links for visitors, contractors, or residents to open doors without use of mobile app, ID badge, or other type of credential. For generation of key links, you need to define things like recipient of the link, suitable doors, message, validity of key link, and limitation of activations. After you enter all parameters, the link is generated and sent via email, or added to the clipboard and sent through other medium. Next, I will show you around how user's account can be set up and what options we have to configure. Let's go to the setup, users. Each user has its own permission role in the app and unlimited number of assigned badges, mobile devices, and access profiles. Let's check for Dario. For higher security, you can always rely and enable two-factor authentication. It's also very convenient how you can check the activity of each person by checking activity log. Door Cloud has a support of day-to-day usage of access control system, and alarm management is one part of those functionalities. Alarms are triggered automatically from the hardware, for example, by receiving some input data on the controller or by encountering a blacklisted user. Alarms can be closed without any action. You can add a comment or even raise an incident. We can try and close the first alarm with the creation of new incident. Here we choose the subject to whom this incident will be reported, priority level, and custom message. All features connected with key-link, alarms, incidents can be managed also from mobile app. Also, I want to quickly walk you through setup and configuration capabilities. For the setup, you organize your users, access profiles, their IDs, badges, doors, and schedules. Under the configuration, you add and configure new controllers, define alarms, and set up the notifications and calendars. The last but not the least is very handy and user-friendly Help Center. You can easily find answers on search topics like, for example, everything around alarms. Okay, you can see nice topics. So, this is all from my side for today. I hope you enjoyed this short walkthrough and thank you so much for your attention. Contact us for your demo cloud kit and that's it. Bye-bye. Okay, we are back. So for the end, I wanted to show you also in practice how Door Cloud with a few clicks, an introduction of some of the topics looks like. Hi, if I go further, sorry, I left this page for the end. So Garrett, I have come to the end. Now it's a section for questions. I can go to this slide or this, whatever you want. Here's
well, I think it's first and foremost, thank you, Karel. It's a very informative session. It's always very difficult on your own, but I think you did a splendid job there, so thank you very much. At this stage, for everybody watching, we are going to engage in a live Q&A. There have been some questions already come through. There will also some questions beforehand as well. While you've got that page up, Karel, I think it's important to stress the importance of cloud and how they all integrate. And I think that infographic there summarizes it perfectly well. But what would you say to people that, and we've had a few concerns come in, for people that are worried that it is all on the cloud? Essentially, there are no systems. You know, there are people out there that will be worried that, you know, where everything's been on a system before, everything's been in their hands, everything's now all up in the air. So, you know, what happens if the systems break down? What happens if, you know, if anything happens to the cloud?
Yeah, I'm just maybe not the right person to speak completely not transparently, but with all the facts that are correct. And you know, I've put there some misconceptions and information that I know from public available sources that I have read, and I think so that all these worries are through the time the people on the market will see only the benefits and no more worries, and step by step it's the technology, it's not going quickly with the adaptation. On the long term, maybe the early birds are always also getting some bad things from the technology, and learning something and helping the technology to become more stable and of course secure. In case of our webinar, But later, now I think so the cloud is already in the stage when it's becomes mature, and just now we are going only up. So the growth, we are in the middle, let's say, in the curve of growth of cloud, also on the security parts, so access control, for example, video management, and we are on the right track. Yeah.
Yes, and as well to mention the green and sustainability matters that you mentioned earlier on in your presentation. More and more people have got to have an eye on their carbon footprint and everything else, and to have as little systems as possible in place and to put it into the cloud will really help that. One other question we had as well is relating to what makes you different. Obviously, it's a very competitive marketplace, access control, not only cloud but systems based as well. But what makes Spica different? Well, you're based in Eastern Europe. Are you very, are you high in demand in Europe? Is the Middle Eastern market you're looking to tap into more and more?
Yeah, we are already present in the Middle East for many years. We've just I mean, we see that it's only now with the maybe pandemic or with maybe more marketing around cloud, the companies end users are starting to look and search on the Google for cloud solutions, and that's just the indicator that something is moving into that direction. If you see how many clicks is on your web page, on especially on other these related topics. So I think that the main advantages of that we have really top technology behind the scenes, behind the brand, the product, that when you start using it, you can really rely on it. It's not that it was developed overnight or over a few years, but through all our 30 years of experience, we've put everything into this product, which is around 8 years old. So we have these access controllers, zone, spot, wing, and door, which are we think that they are unique. This hardware really covers and support all functionalities that are known on the market on access control part. But what really, also the market in India trust us more than any other. They call us, they want to have only hardware without software because it's so good hardware that they cannot get anything like that from other vendors. Like our competition with the controllers, it's also very very publicly known and renowned, but we are behind. That doesn't mean that we are behind with the technology. So access controllers, the whole technology of applicational user experience, and that's more like it. But we are innovative in a way. For example, we're one of the first, not the first one, to introduce readerless access. So these innovations, like you don't need even to have a reader on the wall, but you can open a door with a mobile app. So Door Cloud app enables you to communicate with the controller, and then of course to the lock to open the door through cloud. You don't need to communicate with the reader anymore. And also, if you don't have online mobile phone to reach the cloud for opening the door, you can also communicate directly with the controller under the ceiling through offline Bluetooth communication. So all these details give us advantage, an edge on this competitive market.
Absolutely. And I know you've not mentioned costs, probably deliberately, because it's very difficult to give somebody a cost depending on their needs. But how do you fare in terms of costings? Are you competitive? Are you affordable? Are you, because of the technology you've mentioned, is it slightly more expensive? Talk to me more about that.
Yeah, correct. Always technology is not it's not cheap, so always you need to take this in consideration. I think we are somewhere in the middle. I think also maybe this can be an advantage in our favor because we are in this eastern part of Europe. We can be more cost efficient with the development and all the hardware manufactured, which is everything is in Slovenia. we can also offer the solution for less cost than maybe from France, from UK, from America, from United States, and this is also something that a customer can feel at the end. But cloud, it's all, as I mentioned in the topics, it's recurring costs. So you really need to talk with the vendor and compare apples to apples with the whole, picture of the cost that will come from different ends, from consumption of energy in your company to the patches to the new server capabilities. But all these processes go slowly. So at the beginning you pay a little bit more, also because you have some solutions on cloud, some not. But then over the time, at one point you need to do that. You need to start moving to the cloud, because this is the only way in the future that everybody will go.
I agree. And do you get someone helping you? So if a customer was to come on board and not be over familiar with the systems and how they work and the whole access control within the cloud field, do you kind of give them a hand-holding exercise and help them bit by bit?
Yeah, our strategy is to rely on local partners. This is we think the most obvious and the best way to support customers, as they have all the local specialities in their mind, the culture and everything. So we of course help partners and also customers if there is any questions around it. We are also here to support with our technical pre-sales consultants, and also our product developers sometimes is involved if customer has some deep questions or have idea for some new feature that it's just still on the roadmap. So yeah, just contact us. We'll be happy to introduce you our child, which is now mature and mature. More mature every year.
And you mentioned earlier on about the case studies and the examples you showed about the university in Split, was it?
Yeah.
And also the offices in Zagreb as well. What examples in the Middle East have you got? Because there'll be a lot of people watching and going, can you make it more relatable? What examples in places like Dubai, Saudi Arabia, the other places in the UAE, can you relate it to?
Yeah, this is a good question, because this is also what this webinar is meant to be, to promote cloud-based access control, and also for we want to push cloud knowledge to the other solutions that are on the cloud. Like we are also with the Spica portfolio have time management solutions in cloud, and they have already references in Middle East. I think so 5 of them. So 5 companies with 200, 300. And I think so 50 employees are already using in cloud time management, time and attendance. For access control, we are still more present in Europe, and we would like to open new door in Middle East. And with Microsoft, we also see that it's happening each month, some new informations like Qatar, UAE, and this is also the push that we are glad to have from Microsoft, because they are the vendor, the global provider, and with their help we can be successful very soon also on the Middle East. But we have of course received inquiries for the Door Cloud as well, but then they've decided to go with on-premise, which we also have. So we have also our 30, or now I think so it's 25 years old platform, Time and Space, on which you have time and attendance and access control both on premise, and this is already been installed on 300 references in Middle East, from the enterprises of 20,000 employees to 100 employees. But cloud is still in the early stage, and we are here to promote their benefits and what you could gain with moving to cloud. Yeah.
Sure. And the portal you demonstrated earlier, does that come in different languages? So I know a lot of people around the globe speak English now, but if Middle East clients, they wanted it in Arabic, is that an option to translate? Does it transpire into that?
Yeah, good question. This is always welcome to have a translation. I agree with you. It's important for the users to have their own local language. So yeah, we already support on mobile phone, on mobile app, 20 languages, and on the web app, it's English, and it can be translated in no time in any language.
Excellent. We're going to wrap it up with two questions. They kind of go into one. So the first would be, have you got any demos in addition to what you've already shown us? And the second would be, are you attending Riyadh, the Intersect show next weekend? Likewise, Dubai Intersect in January as well. Obviously, we're media partners, so Security Middle East are there. But do you attend shows in the Middle East where people can view the demos and kind of get involved?
We've been in the past years always present on these shows, but last few years, 2 or 3, I don't even count it anymore. Due to the pandemic, we've stopped that, and also this year we'll not be there. But you know, it's always possible, and I'm more keen of coming there, meeting people one-on-one, not being part of the exhibition. You know, now maybe it will come the time to start again participating on these exhibitions. But if anybody from the audience would like to meet us, we're happy, you know, to fly there. We have a couple of partners there, so we would combine meetings with partners, you know, meet end user and also new, you know, prospective partners if, you know, they would love to meet us. But anytime we can also meet, like through the online meeting, Zoom, Teams, it's not a problem, and then we can also meet in person. Excellent. And the demo you mentioned, we are having a demo kit account as an application. Of course, it's available free of charge, and then you need, of course, to test our controllers and the reader. You get a package together. It's a small cost, and we ship to you, and then you know, we have meetups to introduce you and answer all your questions and demo.
Okay, I think we'll wrap up the Q&A there. Thank you very much, Karel. What I would say, anybody watching either live or on demand, if anybody does want any more information or wants to see any demos, please reach out to us via the follow-up emails that we will send. All of the details for Karel and Spica will be in there as well as ourselves. So Karel, a huge thank you for your time today, and very much appreciated for everything you've done in terms of the presentation and helping to arrange all of this and help for it to take place. So a huge thank you. But for now, a huge thank you to everybody watching. Until the next time for our next Security Middle East session, we'd like to thank you. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.